What's going on, guys? It's Wayne here. Welcome to the first video of our intermediate pivot table series. If you haven't had a chance, please check out the introduction to pivot table videos linked up here and also in the show notes. Let's get started. So for this video, we're going to be learning how to name tables, just some general formatting, how to create pivot charts, trying to filter our pivot table to include only top or bottom, say like 5 or 10 different things, how to connect slicers to multiple pivot tables so we can actually control multiple visuals, whether it's a chart or actually another pivot table with one slicer. Let's get right into it. So I'm clicked in to the data set. Let's insert a pivot table. Looks like it goes all the way here. Sounds good. New worksheet, sheet 1. Let's take a look at specific products and how profitable they are. Now, for pivot tables, we don't really need the grid lines. Let's remove that. Let's also take a look at the sum of profit. So we can see that there's no formatting in this, but we know that these are dollars. So let's click into the values, value field settings. We do want the sum. Let's go into number format, change it to currency, and we have a bunch of different options that we can choose, but we'll stick with currency. Okay, and now it's changed to dollars. Second, let's click on the pivot table, go into analyze. We see the name here. Let's change this to top 5 by profit. So now the name has been changed. Because it says top 5 by profit, let's actually look at only the top 5. We right click and go under filter, click top 10. Let's choose top 5 items by sum of profit. Click OK. Now we're actually only looking at the top 5 by profit. So let's insert a chart to make it more visual. So we go under insert, pivot chart, and there's a bunch of different charts. Let's choose a bar. This looks good. Let's move it up here. Let's resize it a bit. Now let's clean this up. The out-of-the-box charts are a little cluttered, so what I like to do is I like to right click on these field buttons and I just like to hide them. Gives us more real estate. Second, I don't necessarily like these axes, so I'm gonna cancel this and also delete this, and I just highlight it and click delete, and instead we see this plus sign here. So what we can do is click plus and actually add the data labels here. With the total, same thing, click on it and delete. And now we have a cleaner chart. A few more things we have to rename the title. So what we're looking at is top 5 products by profit. We also want to double click on one of these bars. Since this looks very skinny and there's a lot of room in between, what we want to do is go and look at gap width and reduce this all the way. 30% looks good. So this actually isn't in order, so we can go back to our pivot table, highlight the column where sum of profit lives and go under sort and filter and sort it from largest to smallest. So this actually is inverted. So let's right click on the y-axis, format axis, and what we want is to click this button or this box, categories in reverse order. And now it's been flipped. X out, looks good. So now we can just hide this and insert a slicer. So we've actually learned how to do this in the introduction, to pivot tables. We have to click on the pivot chart or the pivot table corresponding with this slicer. Let's slice it up by product category. Sounds good. Let's bring it down here. Let's make this color match actually. Let's highlight the bars, and I think that's the same color. Looks good. Can bold. Alright, we're in action now. Let's try it out. So furniture, top 5 products by profit. For furniture, for office supplies, for technology. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Click the clear filter here. We're back. Let's create another pivot table. Going back to sheet 1, let's place it right here. Enter. OK. So now this is the second pivot table. So we have pivot table 4 here. Let's take a look at profit again. Let's do it by region this time. So we have all these regions here. So let's rename this profit by region. Nice. So now we have profit by region and top 5 products by profit. Now, once we start clicking around, we see that the chart has been affected by the slicer, but this is static still. So how do we connect both to be sliced by product category to this specific slicer? We highlight the slicer itself, go up to options, and under options we see report connections. So let's click this, and now we see our 2 pivot tables that we've named, profit by region and T5 top 5 by profit. So make sure they're both checked off, click OK, and voila. The last thing to do is we want to make this a dollar amount as well. Perfect. So now we see the top 5 products by profit and also the profit for each region for furniture or office supplies or technology or all. Awesome. Thanks, guys.